Okay, welcome everyone to our weekly team meeting. March the 7th, this one is. Thank you for joining us. We have lots of people here. Great that everyone's joining us. And it's nice when you guys can pop on live, because what invariably happens every week is I stop the recording and then we keep chatting, and we always have great info that we share, and then it's never recorded. So
yeah.
On these live ones is always good. So a couple of kind of things I want to go over before we get into the meeting. Next week, you guys, super important. Let's promote, because Pam went to the trouble to get Dr. Shiraz Farouk, a colorectal surgeon, on to talk to us. So he is obviously in the medical field. He's joined as a HempWorx affiliate, and he has a holistic clinic that he's started. And so he's going to come and talk to us about, why he chose HempWorx products, how ours are better than everyone else's. So we want to make sure to fill the Zoom as much as possible. And you guys, you can invite guests too. So the team meeting next week, we can have guests on, because we want as many people as possible to get on there and chat with him. And Pam set the whole thing up, which is amazing. And she,
thank you, Pam.
Thank you, Pam.
It was fun.
So she has some questions that she thought of that she's sent to him, so he'll know kind of what he's in for. But then I think we're also going to open it up for some questions, right, Pam?
I'm hoping that we can get through in 45 minutes so that we have 15 minutes for kind of a Q&A. And I did tell him that we're going to have prospects on the line too. So, there's just certain things you might not want to start complaining about if you have an issue with this, that, or the other, when we've got brand new people, So, but Laura, you said you could handle up to 100 on your Zoom?
I think so, yeah.
Well, we need to make sure it's 100 people. I mean,
yeah.
Let's say have everybody bring at least 2 or 3 people.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good idea.
And hopefully Shannon's team
Awesome.
will. And Sue, you're on Shannon's team, right?
I am.
Yeah. So if you can help promote to your team
I
as
will.
well, to get you guys all in here.
Okay.
And we're going to also try and keep it all compliant too, right, Pam?
Well, I told him in big, bold letters, this must be compliant, because I watched some of his older videos that he did, and, compliance has gotten stricter and stricter in the past few months, because we have to be. That's how we ended up on that U.S. Hemp Authority list for being compliant. So I have drilled it into his head. I can't make any guarantees, but I will point out to him if something comes across that is non-compliant.
Yeah. Okay. So make sure we invite. That's so important for next week. And then right after it is the Todd Falcone training with Josh and Jenna on how to crush it in your MDC business. So make sure that everyone has registered for that. To register, you go to www.fearlesswebinars.com/MDC-REG.
And that is not for prospects. That's just for affiliates.
Yeah. Okay. So that will be an awesome. Todd Falcone.
Post that so we can look it up.
Pardon?
Couldn't you post that so we can look it up to make sure we get in and sign up for that?
Yeah.
The webinar?
Yeah. I'll put it in the chat right now.
Awesome.
Or will the one with the doctor just be your phone number again?
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome.
Yeah, and Michelle, I did a separate, I did the one image for both of the calls, but then I put that separate image that y'all can use to promote just the Zoom with the doctor.
Okay.
It's on Laura's Master Affiliate Destination Group page.
Okay, great.
Okay. Karen, I put it in the chat. You're the one that asked.
Good. Thank you.
Okay.
Right there in the chat. Make sure you register for that. Okay. And then the other big thing, which Pam kind of touched on, was that we were one of 13 companies awarded the Hemp Authority's seal of approval. So It's for quality and safety. It's a certified seal for hemp growers and processors. And I just kind of wanted to read, the certified seal will give consumers confidence that their products are safe and of the highest possible quality, while giving law enforcement assurance that the products are legal hemp and not illicit marijuana. So that is big kudos to us. And we're the only MLM in that group. So, I mean,
Yeah, and did you see that Jen Canna was in there too?
Yeah.
Which is very cool.
Yeah.
And they're growers, right? That's where.
Right.
Yeah.
Great.
So that is a big feather in our cap. So
Nice.
yeah. And then of course the road shows. The next one is in Vegas, and I will be there. I have a couple guests going, and if you guys have any guests that you want me to meet with, I'll be happy to do that. If you have anyone in the Vegas area or wanting to take a trip to Vegas, as soon as they announce what the new product is, I will post it in our group so that we can see what that is, because that'll be
You got
exciting.
any idea what it is?
I have a feeling it's going to be bath bombs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so too. Because that last talk with Jenna and Josh in their living room, she had one, and she's like, I think this
Right.
is
Yeah.
yeah.
And everyone's super excited about it, so that's good.
Yeah.
So Vegas is this Saturday. Phoenix is on the 16th. Wichita, Kansas is on April 6th. Dallas on April 13th. Houston on April 20th. New Orleans on April 27th. St. Louis, Missouri on May 11th. And Nashville, June 1st. So if you guys have anyone in any of those areas, or if you're within driving distance, definitely.
We're trying to put a group together to go to Nashville.
Oh, awesome.
Oh, yay.
Yeah,
Fun.
that'd be fun. I'd love
Laura,
to.
let's just fly to
I
Nashville.
know, really.
I've got a lot of people in Nashville.
Business expense, absolutely. That would be fun. Love to do that. Okay, then also the Trim 365 spray is taking longer to get shipped out. They've had a rush of orders, so they're kind of backlogged on Trim 365. So just kind of wanted to give you guys a heads up there. So
Darn, I just ordered that.
did you? Yeah,
Yeah.
so it might be taking a little bit longer, and if you don't get it right away like the other products, that's the reason. They have a backlog on them. Which obviously, it's a great product, and I have people who've been reordering it, just customers. So people are definitely liking it, which is good. And then the cash giveaways that we're seeing, like other teams are doing, for taking a tour and
Sure,
stuff.
yeah.
Personally, I kind of think that's getting out of hand. And I don't really think it's a level playing field for everyone, in my personal opinion, because there's teams that have a buco dinero who can afford these big cash giveaways, and then there's the brand new teams and affiliates who can't afford to do that. So if it's something that's concerning you, send a message to compliance, and they're aware of it and they're looking into it. But the more people that I hear from, the better. Do you guys agree with me? Do you kind of think it's not a level playing field, or is it just me?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could never do that. I mean, and thank you, Pam. I just kind of copied Judy's post, and Pam said, be careful, you got the $1,000 at the bottom, and I went, oh, and then I went back and went, oh my God, I do.
Like that, even when in email,
I went and
anywhere where
deleted
there's a
it.
flip.
So,
Yeah, because I was wondering about, because it shows up quite a bit. Let me see.
Somebody's talking.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
Is somebody
internet.
talking to someone? If you can just mute yourself for now. So yeah, I mean, if Judy, was it Judy Stallings' post that had that?
yeah.
And was it like open to her whole team? Because usually it's like the people who offer it, it's like they offer it to their whole team, kind of.
Yeah, see, I didn't confirm that it was Judy's. I had thought it was when I first saw Michelle's thing, but I didn't confirm that it was Judy's. But there was another team that was offering 25,000.
Yeah.
What?
That's-
What?
Yeah, one of the big, really big teams.
Yeah, and that's
$25,000 for what?
to take a
Taking
free
a
tour,
tour.
and then you get an entry. You
Get
get an
an
entry
entry.
if you take a
Wow.
free tour. You get an entry into the drawing of this cash giveaway. And I think it's getting out of hand, and I think it's going to start breeding bad blood amongst people, because people could have friends that are going to enroll on a free tour of someone else who is offering this $1,000 cash giveaway, just
Right.
on the off chance that they might be able to win, right? And that's not what we want.
Yeah, it's still split. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So if you guys just send a message in to compliance,
When you do it like
Smiley
this,
day.
it's gonna split. There's no way for you to do it just because it's longer. So you have to.
mydailychoice.com.
Oh, okay.
That's what it is.
Oh, okay. And then how do I lock it? So I like this. How do I lock it?
What is that?
Who's that talking?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Is that it?
They're done now. Yeah.
I muted that iPhone one.
Okay.
Okay, so yeah, so if you guys want to, if you think it's not a great thing, then just maybe send a message into compliance at mydailychoice.com. The more they hear from people, then they'll put a stop to it, because I don't think it's needed. And I personally think it makes the company look bad when they're just throwing away money.
Yeah. I think it's one thing if they're doing something once people are already signed up and they're doing internal contests for their team.
Right.
But to put something out for public facing, I think that's a whole different.
Exactly.
Agree.
Exactly. Yeah, I totally agree with that too. Okay. All right, and then let's see, from last week. Okay, so people were asking what are some compliant terms for disease names. So what you basically want to do, instead of saying the disease name, like Jenna just did a whole live on this,
That was a good one.
how
Yeah.
important it is, but just describe it instead of saying what it is. Like for migraine, a thumping, my head had severe thumping in my head, that kind of thing. Depression, feeling of extreme sadness, I was in such a dark place. I wanted to stay in all the time, didn't want to go out, just painting a picture of what the disease is. Acne, bumps all over my face, that kind of stuff. Anxiety, feelings of nervousness, feeling like I didn't want to be around people. My stomach was in knots, all that kind of stuff.
Uncomfortable in crowds.
Yeah.
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 If
But
you listen
still,
to the video,
go ahead, Michelle.
No, I'm just saying, I know we posted that video on We Dream Big, but she really did a nice talk on how to say things compliantly.
Yeah, and they actually removed that video. Facebook took it down. So she posted today that she's going to do another one even better. But I think where we need to be really careful, even if we're just kind of describing what it feels like, we have to be careful not to say or infer that we had this, we took the oil, and now it's gone. Because then that is making a medical claim, because this plus this equals, I'm fine now. So we have to be really careful how we talk about it in kind of a roundabout way. It's hard, but it's what's going to set us apart from the other companies that are out there making these medical claims that are not legal for them to be doing.
Okay.
But it's okay, Pam, to say it makes you feel better, correct?
I don't know why not, because that's a general statement.
Right.
And then again, it's like even Jenna said, it's one thing if you're talking face to face with somebody and a one-on-one conversation, you've got a little bit more latitude, but
Right.
I made a post today that I don't know if you guys saw it or not. All I said was, yes, it works, they couldn't call it HempWorx if it didn't work, silly. So I didn't have to give any testimony. It's, you know.
I didn't see that. I'll have to go back and grab that one.
Yeah.
I grabbed yours, Laura, with the crazy face. Like, now I can talk with the drama. I loved that. I was, because
Yeah, that was funny.
people, holy smokes.
I grabbed that from somebody. Obviously, I don't know where I got that from, but yeah.
I love that one.
Yeah.
I was pleased how Jenna explained how we could describe some of the ailments or, you know, whatever's wrong with us, like we're talking to a 4-year-old. Because you kind of,
Yeah.
I don't want to say dumbing it down, but it has to be so general that a 4-year-old could understand it, and then it doesn't sound like you're talking in doctor's terms.
Right.
Oh,
Right,
good point.
right.
You could tell somebody they have an owie.
Yeah.
You got a boo-boo.
Here's your Band-Aid that says HempWorx.
Oh my God. Okay, so is that good? Is there any particular disease that you guys want help with when we're all together right now? I mean, is there something that is like, I want to say blah 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 disease, but can you guys help me with?
What about like an autoimmune disease? Now, there's tons of them out there, but most of them are inflammation caused. Is there a better way to describe those, or is it just your specific ailments that the autoimmune disease is causing you?
Yeah, you can't say autoimmune disease.
Correct.
When I gave my testimony in Anaheim, the whole thing was about my autoimmune disease, and I couldn't say any of it. I couldn't even really talk about my symptoms because I wrote it and rewrote it and then sent it to compliance, and then they still rewrote it.
Oh,
So
God.
it was very vague. We just have to be careful. Well, I would say watch out. She said in the next day or so, she's going to do another thing. So keep it.
She did one today.
Oh, did she do another one today?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, let's make sure to all watch it before that one gets taken down.
Yeah.
I think
So you can say, you cannot say anxiety, but you can be anxious.
Mhm.
Even anxious, I think.
But you can
That's
say,
that's a word, not even a.
I know.
yeah. But Mia, I think you can say uneasiness, nervousness. Like Michelle said, I feel uncomfortable walking in a room full of people. There's all kinds of ways I think you can
Just all your symptoms, but not your diagnosis.
Yes, yes.
Okay. Because I'm a member of several, like bipolar, depression, OCD, have slew, panic disorder groups. And a lot of people there would really benefit, but a lot of them don't know what CBD is because, you know, they're so pharmaceuticalized that they don't even realize. And the side effects of long-term medication, I am living proof of the mental problems that it gives you. I have no short-term memory.
Has anyone seen on, I posted that compliant versus non-compliant medical terms?
I think I saw that.
Okay, so I got it up right now. So non-compliant is ADHD. Compliant is trouble concentrating, provides positive mental support.
Okay.
Okay. Pain, non-compliant. Compliant, discomfort.
Oh.
Insomnia, non-compliant. Compliant, difficulty sleeping. Menopause, non-compliant, change of life. Fibromyalgia, non-compliant, severe discomfort in my whole body and I feel old.
But you know what? They made me take severe discomfort out of my testimony.
Oh.
Can you say hurting? Because hurting, a lot of things hurt.
How about
Yeah, I would say it's hurt, ache.
Yeah.
I just know they had me take the word severe and discomfort out.
All right.
They really topped it up.
Okay.
But
All right.
Wow.
So then it says depression, non-compliant, compliant helps improve mood.
Okay.
Then non-compliant colds and infections, compliant helps maintain immune system health. Was that okay, Pam? Do you think, is that still okay?
I think so. You know, the problem is that's been up for a little while, and I feel like
They might need to look at it again.
that I just feel like they're getting stricter in the past even month or so.
Okay.
If there's something that you want to write up, and you can shoot it to compliance, and they'll take a look at it. Like Sarah or Aaron will take a look, and they'll shoot it back to you.
All right, maybe I'll send this to them and ask them to tweak it again, or to tell
Yeah,
us.
that's a good idea. Ask them if that's still good, or if we need a newer version. That'd be great, Michelle.
Because I love that. I send that to all my new affiliates. When I go on my page and I see someone on my team that has said some things, I immediately PM them saying, look, you got to change it to this. And I use this a lot. So I'll send this to them as soon as we finish here tonight and see if they come up with a new any new wording.
Yeah, that would be great. And Mia, I don't want to pass over your question. Like, number one, when you go into groups like that, make sure that they allow that posting, because some groups allow it. I'm in some groups where they only allow me to post on Mondays. They all have their rules. And then maybe you can just, put something up that says, I'm not sure.
It's groups like these. It's talking. So I would be live. Yeah. Okay. So I just don't want to get, nobody in there would be mad at me, but I wouldn't want it to come around that I said something in that group and then I get in trouble or HempWorx does. Nobody in those groups is going to care what I say, but HempWorx would, right?
Do they record it like we do, Mia?
I don't really know, to be honest.
Yeah, they probably do.
And if they do, and if they post that and you're talking like that in there,
yeah.
Just keep it very vague. Just say, I'm not sure if you all.
Well, we're all in the same groups for the same reason, so.
Yeah, I'm not familiar. I don't know if you all are familiar with CBD and how it may be able to help, but just Google it. Google any ailment you have and CBD and look for yourself.
Okay. For your pets, though, like, am I allowed to say seizures? Because my dog has seizures. Can't even say that? No. It's not epilepsy, seizures. No?
No, those, as Jenna described, those are all trademarked words that the government has.
What if I film my dog having one? And that's fine, right?
I've been saying neurological problems.
Oh.
Because my dog's epileptic.
Okay.
And she's deaf and she's a mess. So I say she's got neurological issues. I don't know if that's compliant or not, but that's how I've been using for the epileptic verbiage.
Okay.
I don't know if that's right.
Can we say that? Does anyone know? Neurological?
No. It's like.
Send it into compliance.
I think once you get into neurological, that's a medical term.
Yeah, see. Yeah. I'll just film or have one.
Mia, just say, hey, you guys, just whatever you're concerned with, whether it's for you or your pets, just Google CBD plus that. Okay. Take a look and see what you see, and then get back to me, and I'll tell you how you can get some.
Okay.
Yeah, that's legit. I mean, we're not saying anything wrong.
No.
Yeah.
Neurological in itself is a medical term.
Yeah.
So Holly, email compliance and ask them what you can say for your dog having seizures. Okay?
Because compliance can get a hold of me on something I posted on Instagram and told me I had to remove them. So they're checking everything.
Yeah, they hit Carolina several times this past week.
Yeah.
What do they do if they if they see something? Do they just tell you take it down?
Yeah,
they're very nice. Yeah, they sent me an email saying we were looking on Instagram and we saw that you had put something about allergies, and it was just a picture of somebody sneezing, into a Kleenex. And I think I might have said, I don't take my allergy pills anymore because of CBD, and they told me I couldn't say that.
Oh my God.
Well, and that's another point. Like you can't say I used to take these pharmaceutical drugs and now I don't take them anymore.
Did you see I did that? I posted. I didn't get in trouble, but I did do that.
Yeah.
Hi.
Now you know.
I thought you could talk about CBD as long as you're not using the HempWorx name. I thought you could.
No,
if they can find anywhere on your profile that you're a HempWorx affiliate, if anywhere they can search on your profile or anything and track it back to HempWorx, you're not compliant.
Yeah, because basically, Karen, once you have established yourself, on social media that you are a HempWorx affiliate. Anything that you say must be compliant until the time that you are no longer a HempWorx affiliate. We hope that never happens.
Yeah.
Okay. So, any more questions or concerns of that, or any other comments on that? Okay.
Oh, it's just a learning curve.
Yeah.
Trying to get used to how to do it differently.
Yeah. It's a huge one. So, in a way, put a positive spin on it and think, well, if I describe it, I'm painting a picture, and somebody may be able to relate to that picture you're painting more than they would to anxiety. Maybe they don't even think of themselves having anxiety. But if you're painting this picture of how you're feeling and then maybe, people will relate to that. Oh my gosh, I feel like that too. I had no anxiety,
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. The symptoms are way worse than the word.
Yeah. Yeah.
Very true.
Okay, and then we wanted to touch on an elevator speech. So an elevator speech is basically being able to tell someone what you do in 30 seconds, I think it is, by the time you can go up and down an elevator, up to your floor. So when you're chit-chatting, and we can all discuss this is just something I thought up of, so if you guys have something else, let's all share it. But when you're chit-chatting with someone and you ask what they do, then obviously they're going to come back with, well, what do you do? And you can say, oh, well, I'm in the cannabis business. And most people will be going, looking at you like, okay, what? And you can say, well, I'm in the cannabis business, but my products don't get you high. We just get you healthy and get you feeling better. Are you familiar with CBD? And kind of go from that, I'm in the cannabis business. Usually that'll get someone shocked, Don't worry, my products don't get you high. We just get you feeling better. Are you familiar with CBD?
Right.
Yeah. Yes or no, or and then you can just go from there and what CBD is, and then just talk about being from the hemp plant and not the marijuana and stuff, but it's just an icebreaker. So okay.
I like that.
Yay.
I just have a question. Does anybody know the CBD oil that you put in your mouth, if you were to put it, like, say, on your scalp, do you think that would help psoriasis, or would it not absorb?
Yeah.
It would do the same?
It would.
It does help a little bit. I have tried it.
Oh, okay. Oh, awesome. Okay.
I've been putting it on my sunspot right here,
Uh-huh.
and my dermatologist asked me what I was doing, and I said, well, I want to tell you that I'm using the CBD oil on it. She said, I was wondering because it's gone down. So
You're just using straight oil?
Just straight. I just put it on my finger, and I just go like this. I do it every day. And honestly, if I think about it, I do it 2 or 3 times a day. And it's much softer, and it's gotten smaller in size. And my sister puts it on her age. She's got my father's hands. She's been putting it on her age spots on her hands.
Okay.
So,
awesome.
yeah. And they're fading. They're fading. And but when you're driving, this is the side that's by the window all the time. And I do live in Florida during the winter, so I do love my son. And it's not precancerous. She just calls it a sunspot, but it's definitely gone down. And she looks at it I go to her probably every 6 months, and she looks at it. And so I haven't been to her in 6 months, and she asked me 2 or 3 weeks ago, what have I been doing? And I said, I've just been putting a little bit of the oil. I bring my bottle with me when I go to the doctor's. So I now have it in 3 of my medical records, my dermatologist, my GP, and my gynecologist. And all they said was, patient indicates that she is starting a new regimen with CBD oil. She is asymptomatic with whatever it was. Mine was GERD. She is asymptomatic with her GERD. My recommendation is she continues the routine that she's doing.
Okay.
Three of my doctors, the next in my medical records now, CBD oil. So, yeah. And they were all 3 were very interested to of course I did my whole spiel while I was sitting there and telling them, but they're like, yeah, I just heard about that, or I'm going to a conference next week on that. So I left them all sample packs. Not that I carry them with me everywhere, but like, here, let me give you these, I said, just try it. That's all I can tell you to do. You have nothing to lose, but to try it. So,
Okay.
yeah.
The last couple of days, I've been putting it on my toothbrush after I brush my teeth.
Oh, for your gums.
And for my gums, because.
Oh, wow, that's a great idea.
Keeping your teeth, and it's cinnamon.
Yeah.
It tastes good. 'Cause cinnamon.
Okay, you could probably massage it in, maybe.
Yeah.
But
I've been taking it after I put it in my mouth, and you know how you let it sit there? I have a little residue, and then I've been rubbing it all over my lips because they get dry, and I don't want to get little cracks. And it's been amazing. I rub it all up on my face after I put it in my mouth a little extra. It's been great. I love it. I put it all over.
Great.
Awesome. Yeah, I got a bottle of the natural because I want to start putting it on this side of my face, because I was wondering why is this part of my face more wrinkly than this part of my face?
It's where you drive.
The driving.
I'm thinking, because when I
That's the
sleep,
side-
I sleep on this
the
side
window.
more, but it's the car driving. Yeah, the sun.
Yeah, she told me that. I was
Yeah.
like, why don't I have any over here? And she said, because this side is exposed to the sun at all times when you're driving. And I'm a speech pathologist, so I traveled to 5 or 6 schools a day when I was working full time. So I was in the car all the time. And that's why this side of my face has more of those spots on it. It really kind of looks weird because I have 3 or 4 and nothing on this side. So, yeah. That's the side that we drive
This is a great example of why everybody needs to be on the Zoom calls every single week, because you never know what you're going to learn.
You never know what we're going to be talking about.
I have a question.
Yes.
And I'm not bothered by this, but I noticed this batch of my 750. It's super strong, not like in whatever, but like in the smell of and the flavor of like the plant.
Yeah.
Anybody else notice that? I'm not bothered by it, but I was like, wow, this is really strong, this batch. I was just curious.
Yeah, my cinnamon is a lot darker this time, and it's because it's a natural plant, so it's going to vary from batch to batch. So sometimes it's lighter, sometimes it's darker, sometimes it's more of a smell and stuff, but properties and stuff are still all exactly the same because of the
for sure
stuff. But that's why. So if you have had any customers asking you, that's why, because it's a natural plant. We don't bleach it. We don't put any other stuff in it. So in nature things change, right?
Right, that's true.
From harvest to harvest. So that's a good thing. Okay, so, and then last week, I know people wanted to go over on how to talk to people, how to get leads. And so, first of all, I'm going to have Shelly come on and tell you guys about what she did this week, where she discovered a way to get leads. So, Shelly?
Okay, hello. Well, first of all, I hadn't really discovered this recently. I actually discovered it a couple of years ago, but started using it more this past week. Have any of you heard of the Nextdoor app?
Yep.
I don't know if it's just a California.
I have one on there, yeah.
Okay, good. Okay, well, Nextdoor is an app you can get, and it connects you with people in your local area. So when you download it, it kind of picks up, it asks you some questions, and it picks up probably by GPS the surrounding area in a certain radius around your house. So it puts you in with that group. So you can use it for a lot of things, like I'm a pet sitter. So people, somebody just called me today and said, I found you on the Nextdoor app. So people will post, in need of a pet sitter, or anybody know a pet sitter, kind of like Facebook, but it's more intimate, I think. And, you have people just, looking for, any kind of other questions about the neighborhood. Did you hear about this cars getting broken into? Did you see this cat running around? I mean, it's just kind of a general conversation. I don't know a whole lot about its operation and what it can and cannot do, but I will say that I got an immediate response on what I posted. Now, this is interesting. When I tried this about a year ago or so, I went and I had just started with HempWorx, and I wasn't as well versed as I feel I am now. So when I went on, I said something about CBD, and some lady came on and like, you should know who you're buying it from. Everybody's selling it these days. And I'm like, whoa. So, I just didn't really pursue it a whole lot until I felt like I was more comfortable talking about it. So then this past week, I thought I'm going to list something on the Nextdoor app. So, and by the way, when you share something on the Nextdoor app, it gives you the opportunity to share it in your immediate neighborhood, or you can share it in other neighborhoods too. And you have that option. So it goes out beyond where you are. So anyhow, this past week, I put up an ad that said CBD movement. That was the subject. So I basically put a picture. Let me see if I can find it. I just said, ask me about CBD, and the subject was CBD movement. And I said, I'm offering this pure organic CBD oil. And, I had like 10 people ask me questions about it. Several of them wanted to know my prices. Several of them wanted my website. And, and you can reply on a private message to them, or you can reply just like on Facebook. So, but then again, I had this one other lady come on. She called herself an old hippie from the 60s, and she was really downplaying the benefit of hemp versus CBD from hemp versus CBD from marijuana. And she said, from a scientific standpoint, this, and this. And I'm like, oh, brother, here we go again. So I just kindly wrote down, thank you for your feedback. And then I went about my business and I answered everybody's questions. So it is a good way to get the word out there. Now, I haven't followed up yet with those people to whom I sent my link and the product information, and I will get to that. But today I went in and I posted another post separate from that, and I said more about CBD. And I said, by the way, the other day I introduced myself as offering, the best CBD around. I can't remember what I put. And I posted that article about the hemp certification. And I said, as you can see, I know what I'm talking about. We are, a company that takes pride in our product. We provide you with all the information. If you want information, just let me know. So I put that, and somebody wrote back right away and said, geez, back in 1969, I took a few brownies, and then I stopped doing that. I'm like, okay, thank you. But now that I'm older, and I've got grandchildren, and I've got neuropathy and diabetes, I think I better get better. Maybe I should look into this. I'm like, yeah, maybe you should. So anyhow, he responded, and again, I don't know what these will transition into. I'm hoping to have some, people interested in it. I also went back and I said, look, we're having a call in a couple of weeks, so if you want to hear a doctor's perspective, let me know and I'll connect you, give you the information about that. So it's a great way to go out and test it. You really have to play around with it. The person this time that made the comment about, this is just baloney, and I know I know everything about CBD. It has to have at least 1% of CBD in the hemp in order for it to become effective. It made me realize, first of all, I just said thank you for your input, and then you can go out and delete her post and block her from doing that, so that's a good thing. But it made me realize to make sure that I am on top with the knowledge that I need to combat these kind of people. So I went directly to the labels in the testing under documentation, and it told me the percentage of CBD, THC, I'm sorry, that's what she was saying. You have to have at least 1% of THC in the CBD to make it effective. So I went to the pages under documentation, read up about that. So my take away from that was, Be familiar with what you're talking about. Refer to the resources you have on the website about our products. So when people hit you with that kind of stuff, you can just look back and say, wait, hold on, this, and this. So you have a way to come back at them.
But isn't CBD the same whether it comes from either one? It's still CBD. One just comes from the.
There's
CBD is CBD.
Well, I just wrote to my son. Okay, we've been involved with this for 7 years now. We used it with my husband towards the end of his life, and this is what my son has done for the last 7 years. He worked in Colorado for 3 years, and now he's been in Florida for 3 years. And I just sent him a text saying, would you be willing to come on to one of our Zooms and explain it to you? I'm pretty well versed in it as far as what the plant does. There's a female part to the plant and a male part to the plant. One part goes right to is heavy THC, and tropics. We come from the male part, which is just direct CBD. He explains it so wonderfully. He talks it. I mean, it's his life. He works in a dispensary where you have really, really severe issues. The higher levels of THC combined with the CBD does work better for those patients.
Agreed.
But ours, which only has the tiny little bit, 0.03% THC, it works for us basic people who have aches and pains and all these other issues. He definitely works with very severe patients who have, are cancer and very, very severe patients. And they do an 80-20. They do 80 THC to 20 CBD.
Wow.
So ours is just the difference. We do 97 or 99.07 CBD and 0.03 THC. And it works for us.
I thought it was more like 0.08 when I looked at it. I could be wrong.
It ranges from 0.03 to 0.08.
That's what I
I
thought.
always say 0.03 because it does sound better in case somebody's worried about getting high,
Well, that's true. That's true. But the point is, and I went back and I said, everybody reacts to it differently. Whatever, everybody's different. So I just don't like it when people try to act like they're the know-it-alls, and when we have a very good product here. So all I'm saying is just be aware of that and be educated enough to be able to come back and say, there are people who need a much, higher THC value, but for the average person, this is what we offer. What do you think, Laura?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So, but try the Nextdoor app. Like I said, it's a little bit more intimate, and I'm going to see how it works out for me. I got a lot of people asking about it. Now, whether or not they will, it'll end up in a sale, I don't know. But at least it's getting my name out there, and I'm going to go out every couple of days and put more.
Good.
Yeah, and one caveat with the Nextdoor app, only because I use it all the time too, is last week somebody, I guess who's a realtor in the area, said, you're not really supposed, if you're a business, you're not really supposed to post on just the general part of Nextdoor. And he said the link, there's a business portion of the Nextdoor app. I haven't done it yet, but he brought that to my attention, so.
But you know what, Pam? I've posted it under general because there are different categories you can post under, like general, for sale. I can't remember the other ones. But under general, I mean, there's like a local yogurt shop that posts every day. These are our specials today. So I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it was just one guy that mentioned it to me, so I didn't know. It's not like he was the moderator or anything, but.
Yeah. I mean, it's, let me see, when you do a post here. You do a post, let's see. You can post it under categories: for sale and free, crime and safety, general, lost and found, and recommendations. But I don't see anything about a business.
You can do it under recommendations. I recommend that you take
I recommend. Shelly Cortez recommends, because I'm an old hippie. That's exactly what she said. But
well, thank you for sharing, Shelly. So it's just another way for you guys to maybe get leads. So had she not posted on Nextdoor app, she would never have gotten in contact with all these people.
Right.
So just another way. And and then people wanted to know how would you approach someone and talk about CBD? How do you approach your friend? How do you approach someone that you don't know? So Michelle is awesome at that. So she is going to share her tricks of the trade with us.
Okay. Well, my son just wrote back saying, I'd be glad to do that, Mom, but I can't have the camera on me because I would be too anxious and I would have to be doing a lot of CBD that night to be able to do
Or a
it.
pot.
Well, he does use it medicinally himself anyways, but because he does have anxiety disorder, but and he has other aches and pains, but he uses a higher level of THC. But just to hear him talk, I'm always in awe to listen to the way he talks to his patients. In fact, he tells me, Mom, if you're going to start crying, I'm not going to let you in. You got to wait outside, because he's just so passionate after he saw how it did work for his, for his father. But I'll give you an example of what happened. I went home to my hometown over the weekend. My sister was doing a fundraiser for a children's advocacy council that she's on. And we were at the bar and just, sitting, having a couple drinks, and 3 or 4 people came up. And I was with my sister-in-law, who's really not really doing so well with it because she doesn't know what to say. So I just said, just listen to what I say. So they said something about, oh my God, isn't this weather terrible? Now this is in Oswego, New York, right off of Lake Ontario. It really is, I call it the bowels of hell, because the wind comes off and it's horrible. So the conversation just started, hasn't this weather been terrible? My sister's house is encased in ice, and I threw that out. And they're like, oh, my hands are killing me during when this happens, when it gets so cold. I said, my hands were killing me too. And then I started talking about CBD. So I got 6 customers that night, and I didn't take them. I gave them to my sister-in-law, and there was another affiliate. Her daughter is in there. I gave it to both of them. And there were 6 people that said, sign me up. But I just talked about my story.
That's incredible.
And Katie got 2 affiliates from that. The one guy was in a wheelchair right down. He was listening to me talk. Okay, granted, folks, I'm a speech pathologist. I have a degree in talking. I do talk a lot. I do. Sometimes I have to do this. But I just talked about the passion. And I didn't bring it up. They said my hands are killing me. Now today I got called into school to consult in a classroom. So I wasn't prepared to go in, but I just went in. I looked horrible, but I was walking down the hall and I saw a girl walking with a cane. And I used to teach with her. She was a teaching assistant in one of my classes. I said, oh my God, what happened to your leg? She said, my arthritic knees are horrible. Okay, I started. She bought a sample pack from me right then and there. Now, she's not computer friendly, so she gave me, $12. I went on. I did have some money in my credit wallet, so I signed her up as a new preferred customer, and it went out to her tonight. So, not that I'm looking for people who are limping or whatever.
Yes, you are.
Let's get a walking nursing home.
People are going to be doing this to me, like, go away, go. I know that it probably is. I'm not a good party date anymore, but I do look at who I'm with. I'm watching and I'm looking and I'm talking to people just in regular conversation, but then I bring it up and then it just goes like that. So,
and Michelle, I have a question, and maybe you're going to get to it, so tell me if I'm jumping ahead.
Well,
I know you sign people up on the spot. Do you carry like application forms with you?
I carry my business card that has my website on it. And then I just take out my phone and I go to my notes and I write new customer. And they give me their name, their address, their email. I said, now what would you like to do as far as a password that you could remember, or a login and a password? And I have it on my notes. And that's how we do it. And Sunday night, I met with 2 of my affiliates while I was still there too. And they said, well, tell me about you do with these notes. I have notes just for HempWorx customers. And that's what I do. I just press a new note. I write new HempWorx customer, and then I have it in there. And then I always have it, because many people say, I can't remember my login. I can't remember my password. I have it for them, and I just email it to them, or I, private message it to them. But yeah, I'm kind of a walk. Yeah, I do. I do sign people up like that.
Do you order a lot of their stuff for them, or just you
many,
do?
Many times I do.
Their credit card?
Yeah, to get them started, yes. And if they give me cash, like I know we talked about this a couple of Zooms ago too, I will go and get a cash gift card and put it on that. And then because they won't let you, if I don't have enough money in my credit wallet, see, I don't have direct deposit because I have everything going in my cash wallet.
Okay.
So I always have money in there that I keep their money, and I now use that money to place their order under their name, under a preferred customer. So, does that make sense?
Yeah, I've got a lady from Florida that wants to place orders, and I've placed one for her, and she sent me a check, and it's a friend of mine, so I trust her and she trusts me. But I would prefer to put it under her name with her credit card, and I could do the ordering.
But you can also put it under her name with her checking account. If you have the checking account, you just look, and it's ACH. And I'm telling you, I get lots of. In fact, I told Pam I was so close to the 6 people, and last Thursday I said I just got them. And when I went on and looked, guess both of them were ACHs. They were credit cards. So it didn't count for that day. It's been 10 days, well, 7 days now. Both of them are under my team now. But I was so excited that I got 2 right where we were talking on the Zoom, and they were both ACH. But I also get people, the minute I say that, you can also pay with a credit card. And I have them write void on their check, okay? They give me the check, and then you have the routing in the account number at the bottom, and I tell them I'm going to rip this up as soon as I put your order in, and you're going to save 5%. Everybody loves to save 5%. The only problem is if you need that order today, that's not going to work for you, because it will take at least 5 to 7 days for that to clear their bank, and then they become a customer on your team. So that kind of burnt me last week. But I was busy with you guys, and I was talking. I went, oh my God, I got my 2. And then I went, oh, they were ACHs, but that's all right. It wasn't meant to be. I kind of live under that facade that it wasn't meant to be. But I do have business cards that I had printed up in our back office, the resources, and it has my website on it. And I hand those out like candy. I just say, if you want more information, here it is. Here's my website. And there was another gal, her name was Tanya. I shared that on, I think, Pam, I sent it to you, and I sent it to the Powers. But she went through the whole thing, and she talked a lot about that credit wallet and how she does it that way too. But, she does the same thing. She joins a lot of different, she loves to cook, she loves to sew. So she joins a lot of groups on Facebook that are cooking and sewing. So now you're creating an intimacy. You're creating friends that are talking to you about cooking, and then they'll say, "Well, hey, like the elevator talk. What do you do for a living? Well, let me tell you about CBD." So it does require you to have a little working knowledge of some coined phrases that you can say to most people. But once you get going with that, it sells itself. It really does. It does sell itself. So
that's awesome.
Yeah. But six customers just that one night. And I'm sitting there going, okay, here I am being very altruistic. I will share these. I'm like, they're like, well, how do I sign on? I said, well, you're going to have to go to her website. And so the next day when she posted something, because I said, you've got to post something. And one girl I was talking to, she says, I'm so excited about this. I just went up and copied Dee's website, and I brought it down to the comments, and I said, Patty, just click on here, and it's pretty self-explanatory. And she did. She registered under my sister-in-law. So I was trying to light a fire under her, but, they were like, I can't believe how fast you got 6 customers. But I just watched them. You know, I watched what we were talking about. Not that I sucked out CBD from them, but we were talking about how damn cold it was in Oswego and arthritis, and it just one thing led to another. So
You're a good listener.
It's kind of like that elevator talk. Hi, what do you do? Hi, what do you do? So,
that's great.
Yeah.
So does anyone have any other questions for Michelle? I mean, you have her right now, so.
I try to come on every week. If you don't now, I'm always on for every week. But I do believe just if you could listen to my son, the way he talks about the differences in the plants and how the plants are so different and how you can marry them together. In fact, he just got a promotion, and that's what he's in charge of now, the grow. So they're going to be splicing more strains together for more diseases. Every disease has its own separate strain of cannabidiol and THC together. It's like the old apothecaries that we used to go to, where they go in the back and all the little things. Okay, so you have fibromyalgia. Okay, so you need some of this, you need some of this, you need some of this. Most of who he deals with, though, all have MJ cards and their scripts from doctors and all of that. But he does have a passion about how this plant is going to revolutionize generations to come. He says, Mom, because my generation, now he's 31, my generation probably will not have the same diseases your generation has. Now, in the 60s, I didn't smoke pot, but many of my friends did. But that generation now, that millennium generation, they are doing more vaping. They're doing more of that water bong thing. They are changing the pH in their body by taking that in all the time. Okay, what does a disease need? It needs a culture in your body to grow. Most of us who don't do it with the high THCs, that's why we have more diseases. I think. I mean, he explains it better than me, but he would be great to listen to. And as long as he says, if I don't have to be on you don't have to see my face, I can talk a mile a minute. But.
Michelle, how would you approach doctor's offices with your cards or with the CBD product?
Well, I just did that the other day. My girlfriend goes to a chiropractor. So she had a knee replacement. They're doing laser with her now. And when she was in such excruciating pain, when she came to my house, I gave her CBD oil to put on it. It helped with her pain. I gave her the salve. She's an affiliate of mine now. She doesn't really do very well talking. So we did a three-way FaceTime with the two chiropractors. They want to start selling it. We're meeting with them again next Thursday in Florida, and I think they're going to sign on. But what he said was, I have a CBD shop right next to me, and I have a medicinal marijuana cannabis shop right down in the same plaza. So I said, Linda, go over and buy one of their bottles. And so she did, and we compared the back ingredients. And he went, wow, look at all the extra stuff these people have. See, so now what I'm doing is trying to teach them how to tell their patients this stuff is pure and this is the better stuff to use. Okay. So we're going through the wholesale part of the homepage on the left-hand side, and we're just showing him how he can make money, how they can make money. But he's a chiropractor who's a little bit more onto a holistic part. And I will touch back with my doctors because, like I said, I did leave all three of them a sample pack, and I gave them my card. Now, that doesn't mean they're going to go look at it right that day because they've got 1,000 other things on their mind. But if it's on their desk, I know they're going to glance over and possibly look it up and find out more information. I just look at the fact that knowledge is power. The more you know about something, the more you can talk about it, and the more you believe in it, the more passionate your voice comes across to someone. And you sell them that way. You know, these two chiropractors, I think cross fingers, these two chiropractors are going to buy on in a wholesale capacity.
Nice.
And, you know, I'm not going to get any, I mean, she's under me, but I said, Linda, this is all you. You know, this will be, they will be your client under them. And Josh did put a post that he was gonna. It was supposed to be on Monday, but I didn't see it. They're revamping the whole wholesale wet page, but I haven't seen that it's changed yet. Maybe they got busy. I don't know. But he said it was supposed to launch last 3 days ago, but I didn't see that it was any different. But
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Just don't feel like you have to know everything before you get going.
No.
Just because if you come off like too much of an expert,
Right.
and not just pointing in directions to find it, and people are going to go, okay, well, you can do it because you know everything, but I can't do that. You know.
Well, just say enough to then direct them to sites where they can look at the information.
Yeah.
And I'm a firm thing what Laura said. Google CBD and.
Okay.
You know, and once you do that, they get a lot of knowledge from that.
And then come back to me because I have the purest product out there.
That's what you want.
Go find out, how awesome CBD is, but make sure you come back to me because there's a lot of crap out there on the market and you don't want to waste your money on that.
I have a new dispensary opening 2 miles from my house.
Okay.
So it'll be, as soon as they open, I'm going to go down and take a look at what they have and see what their ingredients are. And that way I can at least tell people that's looking at my site with the HempWorx what the difference is between what they're selling down the road, that they can pick up in the store.
And Karen, sell them your product. Have them put your product on the shelf.
They're not open yet, so I haven't been able to get a hold of anybody to see.
Are you in Florida, Karen?
I've seen I'm in Michigan.
Oh, Michigan. Okay. Yep.
Yes, they haven't opened it yet. So I saw it on the news and in the paper, and I've driven by the building. It's not open yet, so I haven't been able to even get a hold of anybody to talk to them about it. But yes, I would, just to see what we have would add to what they're going to carry. Versus, hopefully, they're not making any oil, but I don't know that yet.
And they're going to want to give their customers options, anyways. Everybody. You wouldn't have just one kind of product of anything in your store. Like a pet food store is not going to have just one kind of dog food. Right. So call the city that you're in, call the city planner's office, and ask them who the contact people are for the new people that are coming in. And they should be able to give you that information.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you.
Are any of you guys familiar with Charlotte's Web? And if you are, how would I turn a Charlotte's Web customer over to you guys? Because
they are phenomenal. My son knows.
Yeah. I like have this bottle right here. This is what I actually use, and I haven't even tried your actual CBD yet because it doesn't have enough THC in it. I'm afraid, like for somebody that's severe as me, I'm afraid that your product won't be strong enough.
So, Mia, what else is in there? Because the last time I looked at Charlotte's Web, they also had coconut oil in there.
Yeah, it has fractionated coconut oil. This one is a chocolate mint flavor, and it has organic sunflower seed oil.
Yeah, okay, so they're diluting it with some other things that are really unnecessary. Not that they're not good for you, but if you take, and you're holding up, what, a 60 milliliter bottle?
It's 100.
Oh,
this bottle is $250. So for 100 milliliters.
Figure out how many servings are in there and how many milligrams. 200 servings in a 100 milliliter bottle.
Mm-hmm. One serving is 0.5 milliliters.
Okay, so in our bottles, 30 milliliter, there are 50 servings. So if you do the math on that, and then take a look at how many.
This is a bigger bottle. You don't have to buy this big one through Charlotte's.
No, but it all converts. How many milligrams of CBD is in that giant
43.
bottle?
43 milligrams per serving.
No, not per serving, but for the whole bottle. How many servings are in that bottle, did you say?
200.
Does anybody have a calculator? So 200 times 43 is what, 860 milligrams?
Right.
Am I multiplying right, or I leaving a zero off?
Okay.
But basically, do the math, figure out, do a comparison, because when you start putting sunflower oil and fractionated coconut oil in, which again, both of those are really good for your body, you're actually diluting the oil, so you're going to need a bigger serving to get the same amount of milligrams of the CBD. So when you start laying that all out as to how many servings there are versus hours, and then compare the price. I don't remember the specifics, but when I've compared Charlotte's Web in the past, their product is much more expensive than
Very expensive.
to get the same amount.
But this has more THC, I think.
That's the difference. They have more
There's a
THC.
whole, yeah, there's
That's why theirs costs so much more.
and there's a whole community of people that don't want all that THC. Or
Right, most people don't.
So
They would
that's
call-
gonna be- that's
But-
gonna be your clientele, not the
They would-
people who are so severe that they need all that THC.
Mm-hmm.
That's gonna be your clientele. But
Because I think legally hemp can have 3% or less, right, to be considered hemp.
0.3.
Point three.
be legal to say 0 THC.
Yeah.
So-
That
The
is-
0.3 is 3%, isn't it?
No, it's 10.
Yeah.
It's 0.3%.
0.3%.
0.3%. But Charlotte's Web is a dispensary, and Karen, that was
With
one
the
thing-
Stanley Brothers, yeah, like I know the whole.
They're wonderful. They're absolutely
This is like the #1, I think, in the country right now.
quality. These 4 guys, the way they did that Charlotte's Web with that little girl who had epilepsy, it was phenomenal.
Charlotte.
It took your breath away. But now you don't have to have an MJ card, a medical marijuana card to get that.
No, because it's considered hemp.
But not with that high concentration of THC in it.
It can ship. They can ship, I believe, anywhere in the United States still. I don't know, but that's what they told me. I called they have like a realm of caring, like a third-party company that referred me to them. But they said that's still considered hemp because it's less than the legal amount.
Well, it doesn't matter what the amount is.
Of THC.
Hemp is hemp, and marijuana is marijuana. But anyways, I think you just have to compare the two. And like Laura said, the majority of the public that's out there do not want anything that are going to get them high. For those who do want that, that's fine. They can go buy marijuana products.
This doesn't get you high.
Okay, but if it's from hemp,
It's from hemp. It's actually called hemp.
Okay,
It's
hemp.
called hemp. Hemp extract oil. That's
Hemp
it.
doesn't have more than 0.03 to 0.08 in it. So that I don't know how that can have so much more.
I don't know.
And even in the Farm Act, it says it has to have between 0.03 to 0.08%.
Right, because that's all hemp has.
Right.
So it's a little confusing. I'm a little confused that if it's a hemp product, but you're saying it has more THC. Well, that's not really possible.
Then I don't know.
And if it does have more THC in it, you need to have a medical marijuana card.
Well, in my state, marijuana is legal, so
Yeah.
But you can't go into any dispensary. Is it recreational in your state?
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
You still have to register with the state for that, though.
Mm-mm.
No, not in California.
Okay.
Mia, the next time we get together, bring the bottle and
Okay.
let's look at it.
Because it doesn't even say anything on here about THC on this whole bottle.
Oh, so
It's
it
just
doesn't.
nothing.
It probably just comes under ours. It's the same as ours. Only they're cutting it with more fillers, which you don't want.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't want the fillers either. I don't know. I have tried to switch some people in those groups I was telling you about, just talking about things, but they just think this is like the best. So I want them to try something else, and it's cheaper.
Yeah.
Well, and that's, in fact, Mia, if you can send me a picture of the front of the bottle and a picture of the back of the bottle, I'll
Okay.
just go through and do the calculations for you, and we can do it that way too. I'm happy to do that.
And
Okay.
you're good with your graphics, so you could put them side by side to ours. And-
Yeah, we just
Oh, that
need
would
to
be
be
really
really
good.
careful, not, because Charlotte's Web is also on the list of 13, and
Oh.
we've got to be really careful not to be dissing any of the other people that are on there. But we can do a comparison. I mean, that is what it is.
Right.
You know, we can just show people can make up their own mind.
Right.
Yeah, so that's fair. I mean,
Yeah, I'm happy to do that. So just get me those 2 images.
okay.
Okay.
No problem.
All right, guys. It's 7:12, so you guys on the East Coast, if this is like super late for you. for a
you
long
see how
time.
passionate we get about this?
I know.
I don't know. This whole hour has flown by, and look
Yeah.
at how much we've all learned and
Yeah.
how much we've all shared. I mean, that's, you guys that don't know how to do leads, you just did it right now in the past hour and 15 minutes. That's how you talk to people, the same way you talk to us. Because if you're not using the product, you have no passion for it, and you will sound like a Tupperware salesperson. But once you start bringing your own personal story into it, and you have a relationship somewhat with them, and there's a trust factor and all of that, or you're trying to make, you start building on that. But once they hear that in your voice, they sign on. They're like, wow, I want to feel what you feel. And can I just say one more thing? And I was showing you this yesterday, PM. I did a couple watch parties, and I love those best buds. Those girls crack me up. And they did the T word yesterday. But so I did it as a watch party. And what I do is when people click on join, I take pictures of each of those names. And I keep them in my phone. And then what I did last night is I made a whole list of it, and I just private messaged each one of them and said, weren't they a riot today? What did you think about HempWorx? And I've gotten 7 responses from that.
Oh, that's awesome.
That didn't take me any time at all. When you have your watch party up, it just says, Sally Jones joined, Tom Jones joined. And I just took pictures, and then I found them on Facebook, private message. And I just said, what'd you think about that? Wasn't that funny? If you ever need any more questions, if any questions answered, here I am. I didn't send my link. I didn't send my website. I just reached out to say, because they took the time to join in that watch party, I wanted to know what they got out of it. So.
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
A good way to follow up.
Well, that was my 2 New Year's resolutions was to do more watch parties. And I'm still going to do a live. I'm going to do a live. I just have to get prettier here to do a live.
You look awesome.
I just have to do it.
Good on video. Go live.
I have to do it. I really do. That's one of my, so I've done the watch party. Now I have to go live. And I want to do that 4 to 4. Get 4 people. They get 4 people. I really want to I'm going to get a flow chart. And I'm going to try to do that. Everybody, because I've always said everybody knows 300 people, but that 4 people, they get 4 people, they get 4 people. That's the doer. I think that is an easy way of going to get your team growing. Yeah.
Hey, I got a question. Is anybody from Ohio on this group? No?
No.
Okay. Here's my problem. I need some help with it. Ohio's being really shitty about this. CBD. They just pulled over 3 days ago on a normal traffic stop and found a 55-gallon drum of CBD in this U-Haul truck. CBD. They charged these guys with 2 felonies for drug possession. And I've been trying to do some holistic events, and I had one lady call me and said she didn't want me to come because CBD is illegal in Ohio. I've got a big event, 2-day event this weekend that I'm going to do anyway because I already paid for it. So if I get arrested, would you guys all put in for my bail money?
Yeah, we will.
Oh my gosh.
I'm doing it.
I'll come get you.
Big 2-day holistic event.
I don't believe it'll hold up in court. There was a whole article that I was reading about that.
Yeah.
Because
that's the second one. The other one was in January, and this guy down in Cincinnati got he's been charged with a felony also, and he had a little vial of CBD in his back seat.
What's a kidding?
It's crazy. It's just crazy.
Ridiculous. Makes no sense whatsoever.
I know. And I got the big HempWorx sign on the back of my car, so it's not like they don't know.
Oh my gosh. It's like, come get me.
You're not even going
Go
to
to
make it to that
You need
event.
to go to the police station and explain to them what it is. You need to go to the police station and explain to them what it is. So they
Yeah.
knowledge is.
They'll probably keep me there then.
Oh, good.
That was ridiculous.
I'll let you know how it all goes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, good luck.
Yeah.
Let us know if we have to come bail you out.
All right.
We'll come in
I-
en masse.
I think I might be the closest one to you in Michigan.
Yeah. I told my husband have a checkbook ready, man, because he might be coming to get me this weekend.
So funny.
Yeah. It's funny, but it's sad. I mean, it really is.
Because their own little, I can't think of the name of it, but their own little area, they're trying to interpret the law according to what their thoughts are. But
Exactly. Well, and also it's they're opening up all the dispensaries recently in Ohio, and I think they're trying to get a monopoly on the CBD.
Yeah.
They don't want it in any stores. They don't want anybody selling it. They only want it to go through the dispensaries. Yeah.
I don't know, but that 50-gallon drum would concern me too.
Yeah.
That's a
They
lot.
weren't coming from
Maybe there was a
Delaware.
dead body in
Where
there or
they were
something.
going.
Yeah. There might have been bits of other things in there. That really kind of scares me.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my goodness.
That's funny.
Okay. So shall I stop the recording?
Well, we're going to talk about 1,000 more things. When we do that.
Well, that's what happens. Every time you stop it, that's when all the good stuff gets discussed.
Yeah.
Oh, but that people are going to just have to join because I am stopping it right